Alright, so my name's Emily. I'm going to be doing my speech on how I believe the death penalty should be illegal nationwide. As of April 1st of this year, 2,873 people are currently waiting on death row. So what I'm going to talk to you guys about is how much it costs to have somebody on death row, how effective it is, and people who are wrongfully convicted and executed. All right. So I chose this topic just because I think that it's wrong to, execute people that, we're executing somebody for basically the same reason of them executing somebody else or murdering somebody else. Let's go ahead and begin with how much it would cost to even keep somebody on death row or execute them. So the cost of the death penalty costs millions versus hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So there are 31 death penalty states across the U.S. right now. And really the cost varies for each state. So I'm going to focus on Colorado specifically for just this point here. So in Colorado, it's roughly $3.5 million for a death penalty case that's on trial. Now, the difference between a death penalty case and someone who's just going to be incarcerated for like a life sentence, a non-death penalty case in that sense would be for first-degree murder is estimated at $150,000. Now, that's for attorney costs for basically just the trial. That's not even to keep them locked up and then to execute them. Money spent to execute a person could actually pay 70 firefighters or teachers for a whole entire year. So instead of, wasting our money on something that's not even morally correct, we could actually use that money towards something that, is actually going to help our community. The cost of the death penalty includes trial, housing, food, health. Actually, an inmate, somebody who's on death row, can't even be executed until they're healthy. So if they're sick, we can't even, we cannot execute them. So between 2002 and December of 2015, $6.3 million has been spent over the last 10 years on staff and expenses, again, in Colorado. So as of April 1st of this year, there were 3 inmates in Colorado that are on death row. If all 3 inmates are executed, it could cost the state of Colorado and taxpayers $10.5 million just in court costs. And then basically just for the trial. And then the attorney costs and expenses would be roughly $18.9 million. So that's for 3 people. It was a little difficult to find it on as an average for the United States. That's why I decided to focus on Colorado. But anyways, to expel the death penalty, not just from Colorado, but from all 31 participating states in the death penalty, it would save taxpayers millions of dollars, if not more, billions of dollars. So now that I've kind of talked to you guys about how cost works, is it even effective for us to pay for that? So the effectiveness of the death penalty has not even been proven effective. There's been many studies done as whether or not it's been effective or not. So 88% of criminological societies have rejected the notion that it's even effective to deter people from committing crime or committing murder. And as of last year, the FBI Uniform Crime Report shows that the south of the United States, has the highest murder rate in the country. They also take part in 80% of death penalty cases. So, yeah. So kind of that's showing that it really doesn't deter people from committing crime. Another example of that is a journalist completed a study with the Huffington Post. And his study, I'm going to kind of read it right here. It's a little hard to remember. He studied the states with the highest murder rate. So there's 25 states that he studied, to be exact, and 20 of those states had the death penalty. The other 5 states had high murder rates, but no death penalty. He then took 25 states, the other 25 states with low murder rates, 11 of those with the death penalty, including Colorado, and 14 of those without the death penalty. So what his study showed was that even the states with the death penalty are more likely to commit crime than states without it. So that's kind of eye-opening. So even though we've talked about how effective it is, the death penalty is now, let's go ahead and consider that, people who have been wrongfully convicted and executed, give them the benefit of the doubt too. So, what would happen if somebody was wrongfully convicted? Since 1973, there have been 160 people, and the most of those people, which would be 27 people, are from Florida, have been convicted of a crime that they didn't commit and have been exonerated from being on death row. So, from 1973 to 1999, there was an average of 3 exonerations per year. That being said, from 2000 to 2011, there was an average of 5 exonerations per year. So those people were charged with a crime and put on death row for a crime they didn't commit. So a study published by Newsweek believes that 1 in 25 people who are currently on death row are innocent. That would roughly be 4.1% of people on death row that are innocent of and convicted of something that they didn't do. That's twice as high as the exoneration rate. So even though people are getting exonerated, they're not everybody is being, exonerated. So, or even though they're innocent, they're not being exonerated. So, it is unsure as to how many people who have been wrongfully convicted. Obviously, we put our faith and our trust in the judicial system, but it's always hard to say how many people have been wrongfully convicted. That being said, if the innocent rate is 4.1%, and there are 2,843 inmates on death row, and that is as of April 2017, that means that there are roughly 116 people that are innocent that are about to be put to death. So, and then even though we may not know how many people have been wrongfully executed, we can't doubt that it hasn't happened. We know that it's less expensive to just put someone through trial for first-degree murder or murder in general without death penalty. And then as far as effectiveness, there's no way for us to know how effective it is, showing that there are states out there that have high crime rates, have the highest rate for executions by death penalty. And it just doesn't prove to be effective. So, and then wrongfully convicted, we can see clearly that, there are people that have been wrongfully convicted. Can't say how many, but, if we can continue to study it, or honestly just get rid of the death penalty and not kill people who are innocent, that would just save ourselves. And, it wouldn't make us morally wrong to kill somebody for doing the same thing that we're basically going to do to them, which is murdering somebody for murder. So as of April 1st, 2017, there are 2,843 people on death row, as I said before, and have been sentenced to death and are currently awaiting their D-Day. So does it really make us a better person or a better society for committing the same crime by killing them? It doesn't. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to listen to my speech.